All right, so I feel like I need to sit down and we have this little conversation here. I don't typically post the talking ones anymore. They're just in line of what I needed to get done of all the stuff to post. Anyway, I'm sitting outside. It's snowed a few days ago, and then it's going to be icy and all that the next few days. Don't worry, Vecna's not dying. I gave him some doxycycline because he's been fighting illness, and I feel like he was typically over the most of it, but he's just been acting like he needs a little help, so he's on doxycycline again. Anyway, so there's snow out here in Texas, South Texas. That's not a cat, that's a shovel. These are out here because we were removing the dirt back there, if you followed any of us. But anyway, and then there's the house. I covered up one side from the snow, and then we used, again, roofing insulation on the bottom to enclose this part right here. And I closed it in for them. Cicero. You're such a pretty boy. He's a fat boy. Yeah, I'm an emotional eater, Mom. And you haven't been giving me attention lately. Up until the last couple days, and now I'm just loving all the attention. Oh, pretty boy. I'm not left-handed. Here, tell them hellos. Look. Tell them hi, my name is Cicero. Right here. Beautiful boy. Look. Hi, I'm a beautiful boy. Yes. Come on, don't look all weird. Come on, buddy. Show them your beautiful eyes. I'm so beautiful. Come on, right here. Fluff me. Oh, he does sweet. Look at boogers. I don't like the boogers. Okay. Whoops. That was me. I did it. Sorry, Mars. Oddly enough, I've also had a cough. I don't know if it's because I was out here during the snow and everything and trying to fix stuff. I don't know. My hours get even worse lately. How are your ears? Do we need to clean them again? Probably. Yes. He has cauliflower ear. Anyway, so the whole point of this video is just to kind of reiterate that when there's any kind of weather event, and it doesn't even have to be a severe weather event, I am incredibly busy. And now maybe that is my eyes twitching again. It hasn't done that in a while. I've just been out of my vitamins. Cedar is pulling the hay out of the house and playing with it. Anyway, yeah, so when there's any kind of weather event, I'm super busy. Turtle? Why? Because we don't have like a steady place for all the cats to be, and they also go in and out of the house, and I could say no, yes, I know. But it's hard to do that when that's our norm anyway. And let's say it's either raining or it's snowing now, which is weird for me to say, or or it's way too hot, and some of them are just so used to going in and out of the house, and then coming back outside or whatever. This beautiful little boy. He's so beautiful. For example, we have the house out here that they weren't using for the longest, that Jason built, and he's so particular. And I don't really know why they ever didn't use it much. I mean, Peach did. Peach is in the boxes up here. Peach did, and Charles, and maybe one or two. Anyway, so when I went and got some more hay for this weather event, which I I couldn't get the normal stuff. I had to get the more expensive stuff, which is fine. It was a pain to pull out of the bag, though, because I didn't want to completely cut it out of the bag. I didn't have anywhere else to put the hay that was left over, whatever wood. So I had to, like, it was standing up like this, and I'm trying to pull it out like that when it's a super compressed block of hay. That was fun. I have videos of all that. It'll eventually come. But yeah, so I went ahead and put some of the hay in the house, and the last cold situation we had here a week or so ago, something like that, I found smaller movie blankets, which aren't the heavy duty ones that I'm used to putting in like the bigger houses and stuff and whatever, the makeshift houses that I make. But it's okay, they fit. So I put the hay in there and the smaller moving blanket, and they liked that. And then the other smaller moving blanket that I got fit in the whole bottom part where I had Jason close off the underneath part that he created so that they get out of rain when it rains, which isn't that great of a thing when the top of the steps, like closest, I can't feel my thumb, see where this is, there's no actual cover, so the rain goes through. Hence why I put the that vinyl there. It's all I had, and I was just trying to make do with what I had. I'm good at that, at least. So they've had those two, and then we had this table here, which was a glass table with an umbrella, and it was ruined during Hurricane, Beryl. It got broken actually just after, when it was really windy and we were just getting the last part of it. But anyway, so with all the Beryl situation, I went down the road and got all these older pickets from somebody's fence, and we built this. Well, Vecna's been sick, and he doesn't normally sleep with the cats all the time. And I guess because he's been sick, they've been avoiding him. And he's been pushing them out of this one, because when it was cold before, he didn't sleep in here. He found another place. But this time, he took over this one. It sucks because it's a big space, and, you know, it's just wasteful at that point. That's all right. They made do over there, and he slept over here immediately underneath the heat lamp. And then I had Jason cover up as much as he could with the rest of what we had of it's like roofing insulation board. And then when it started snowing and all that, I took what we had left of Doodle's chasing somebody or something. What we had of, like, that when it started snowing, there was like holes and gaps. So I just took cardboard and kind of covered it so that because it was super windy. And then like these top pickets, they aren't actually on there. They're just laying on top to kind of block that. It's been there before. So it worked out. And this canopy I bought for the farmer's market to try to sell these crystals that I have. To offload them, which, if you like crystals, go there. It's menagerie of crystals. It's also in our link. But anyway, cats are playing. So I didn't want to use the canopy for the longest because of like limbs and things coming down, but at this point I didn't really have a choice. We needed to do something. And then the problem was I couldn't get it tight enough for it not to hold water when it was raining really bad before. So see how it's broken over here. It got bent because, well, Jason didn't empty this. He wasn't paying attention to it one day when I was sleeping. So I had to makeshift it with bubble wrap on every side, and then these clips. Like, clips is all I had, and these small, what are those called? It just went blank. Zip ties. So, and I didn't have big enough zip ties, so I had to put 2 zip ties together, and then Anyway, so, and then I didn't have enough clips to kind of to tighten. So I had to get creative, per usual. And he had bolted down the canopy so it doesn't fly around anywhere. You know, ever since I put the hay and that stuff in the big house, now they all go in there. It's nice. Anyway, so that's what we had, and so we couldn't take that down even though it was snowing and windy and all this other stuff, right? So I had to take, this is like a extension to a cleaner, like a duster, whatever, and it kept the snow from kind of going down, staying, whatever. So that's what I had to do, and then come out here and check it constantly. And some of the cats were actually out and about walking around. They're just weird like that. And then the other one, most of them were in the houses. And then like the doors that Jason had made and under here were too big, so I had to close them. And one of them I didn't have enough to cover the rest of it, so I just put, again, another piece of cardboard over it. And it's only 3 pieces that I taped onto the side while it was snowing, and it took me about an hour to do it because I'm not used to snow, and trying to tape something was interesting because I'd start under here and I'm like, okay, so maybe I'll put the tape on it and then I'll walk over there and do it. With the wind, the tape would move, or the snow would stick to the tape and then it wouldn't stick to the sun. It was a whole thing. So I had to do it out there. But then if I tried to sit down the piece like this, and I was like, okay, I'll just tape it, but then the snows were getting on top of it, and I'm like, I am not used to snow. I couldn't sit the tape down because it would get wet, and it was the whole thing. So trying to do all that took me an hour for 3 things to be taped on the board. It was just entertaining. So yeah, there's that. And then of course, the inside cats, the ones that do come in instead of staying outside. Oh, you're pretty. Winnie. That's my baby squirrel. He's so pretty. It's 37 degrees. But yeah, then there's the inside cats, who normally they just play and stuff, which is fine, you know. Hang on. But some of them, like Miss Beautiful Eleanor over here, she, for a year or so now, she doesn't actually come inside anymore like she used to, and she doesn't sleep outside. I don't know where she goes. I need a GPS tracker on her ass. It doesn't work otherwise. But anyway, so I don't know where she goes, so I have to like keep her inside, and then she doesn't like the other kitties, and it's a whole ordeal. And then and of course now we have the kittens, and they're running around the house now, which is totally fine. But managing them in general so they don't fight each other or they're not attacking Stella. Wow, I didn't sleep well. I've just been, because it was too hot in here, and then whatever. Anyway, so there's a baby bear, orangutan, Dandy Lou. Yeah. So inside, managing them, keeping them from attacking each other, or making sure they get some food or whatever's going on. It's a whole thing. So like, and like Sterling, he, like I said, he's typically outside, but he comes inside because he doesn't have a lot of hair. And so I've kind of trained him to go into what this was a big kennel over here. He didn't want to come in because he doesn't like the smell of the other cats. And of course, Norman and Oscar and their pee wars and stuff, right? So, so I did, the last time it was cold, I just went outside and I picked him up and put him in the kennel, and he was upset for a while, and then he just laid down and he was fine. But, like, that's it. The reason why there's not a box in there is because he doesn't go to the bathroom inside. He holds it. So that worked out too when I downgraded to the smaller ones, because Jason was supposed to be catching the shop cats at the shop where my parents are, right? and never set up the big kennel to try to get them used to it to catch them. There's 5 left, and of course I think there's like 2 other neighborhood roaming ones, which we aren't normally feeding, so those don't really count. Anyway, he sat it up the day it snowed, and all 5 of them got in the kennel. He's like, what do I do? I was like, close it. So we have 5 extra cats in the garage because I'm not going to mingle them. I don't know if they're sick or whatever. And I'm kind of learning my lesson with that. So I have to go feed them now too. That was what's going on during the snowing. Thankfully, after Beryl, we took some of that money and put a unit, an AC heater unit, whatever, in the garage so that I can work out there. Jason can go out there. And we don't have any problems with that. So they're set out back there. Of course, when Oscar and Norman inside, they like to pee on things. So I have to keep the back room with the kittens typically closed or keep an eye on it so that they don't go back there. It's the only place in the house that's not been peed. Not that we don't constantly have pee, but I'm always cleaning like every day. And I go through probably weekly to do that. So I'm not saying that we constantly have pee, but I mean, I don't want that and having to clean and find and all that. To avoid that, I just close the door as much as I can. But the kittens get a little antsy. They want to come out. Mr. Claude, during winter time, wasn't feeling so good. He's been sweeping a lot. He was running a fever. He's not been playing either. I don't feel good. I'm fighting off this sickness. He seems to be less. He's not running a fever anymore. Yeah, normal hot. But he's just sleepy. That's okay. We want him to fight it off. Hopefully I won't have to take him to the vet. Kind of keeping an eye on that and see how that goes for now. So yeah, then I'm managing them, and then with everything, the enclosure, our heater gets too hot even when it's low, so I have a fan running in here. Try to keep things going, and oh, poor Claude. And then I did a quick dust in here. Of course, then we have some other asshole cats that like to stalk Stella, and so asshole cat is one. So I have to like keep an eye on them. And then of course there's feeding time, and then I sweep and I clean the boxes every single day. So I need to vacuum, but I don't want more stress and everybody getting sick again, so I haven't done that. Yeah, and then the in and out, and then some of the cats, even though it's cold or wet or whatever event's going on, right? Some of the cats still want to go outside and go to the bathroom. Like Sterling, he goes outside and goes to the bathroom and then come back. But again, I have to pick him up and take him back in. He's just whatever. So there's that. And I have a couple of feeders. My feeder stopped working, so I was having problems with that, and I had to get that open. Of course, I had to go get the hay, buy the hay, find the hay, because they were out of it. We had heat lamps that I was like, okay, we're set. We didn't have to worry about being all crazy and finding things and like not having a chance of finding what we needed before the weather and everything. He's like, let me back in. And then 2 of our bulbs went out. But it worked out. We couldn't find any. I went around trying to find more bulbs. But that's when Jason caught the other cats. And so it worked out because the heat lamps we had in the shop, we brought here to cover them outside. Wow, it's horrible lighting. And then if kitties are attacking each other inside, or Pine's being an asshole if he's inside, how you distract him is playing birdies or squirrels on the TV. And so then there's that. Then I've been trying to manage my own stuff on my end, so there's that. What are you doing? Oh, beautiful girl. Oh, everybody's got static. Yes, everybody's got such a electricity. Oh, there goes Sterling. So yeah, it's an event. Hey babies! It's an event, just dealing with any kind of weather event, seriously. And then sometimes because we're so busy, things just get, and this was so organized before, things just get pushed in the garage, and then after the event, we had to do that, and I had to get my plants in, and then clean up after that because the cats were eating it. I mean, it's a whole thing. Hi! Don't hiss at me. Hi, boys. They're so pretty and handsome babies. Hi, girls. Hi, girls. Hi, pretty girls. Oh, y'all need some water. And it's past time to to do feeding and cleaning the boxes. I already fed everybody else, except for the kittens and these. So I got to do that. Lastly, with all of that going on, even though I'm doing a lot better since I had my spinal surgery not this last November, the one before, in 23, I have cervical, like I have stuff up here, but I haven't had surgery for it, whatever. And so my fingers go numb really, really bad. And my hands swell when I sleep. And so I'm wearing guards, and I try to do that. And then they just go to sleep when I'm trying to use them, or I'm doing too much. Like, I'm not supposed to be lifting a lot of stuff, or even, I don't know, when I do too much, it happens more often, and then my left foot still. So it's been trying to manage that. And then of course I enjoy being sore because I've been out of shape since my back got worse. And so, and I used to be pretty much smaller and fit and healthy. I wasn't super skinny by any means, but strong. And that's not been the case. So I don't mind doing all these things when I can, but like even right now holding the phone, like I can't feel these 3 fingers, which is all cervical stuff. And yeah, it's a lot. And so again, also with everything that happened, I had to switch out the boxes, the litter boxes all in the house and everything, and then clean them. So just before the storm, the snow situation, I had that and several kennels out in the back, plus our playpen. I had to spray down, and when I do that, I spray it down with the enzymatic cleaner, let it sit. I use this professional grade Lysol. So I wash them with those 2 things, scrub, let it sit, rinse it off. And as I'm doing the other ones, the other half of it, I use this activated peroxide. It's called Rescue, and it gets things that the other stuff doesn't, like coccidia or whatever, which is another recommendation that if you are going to take over caring for cats or something like that or whatever, or take in somebody else's stuff that they had before, you need to clean it with that just in case, because you never know what they have. And so I did all that. So I sprayed it with Rescue, then let it sit to 5 or 10 minutes as I'm cleaning the other ones, and then again scrub and wash, and then I rinse, and then I move them back in here, let them dry, whatever. And then it's like that's it. And that takes hours. It's a whole thing. So it's extremely eventful. It's already a lot. We officially have, now I typically say 50 cats because I'm kind of figuring in the ones that come and go, that aren't really of the group, that I don't medicate and all that, because they just come and go, whatever. And sometimes they eat. So it's around 50 cats. But currently at this location now, since we have these kitties, there's 45, and then there's one at the shop that's fixed out there. So 46 cats currently in, like, that get medicine and all of that in our care, and 45 at this location. It's a lot. But I spent all last night and this morning trying to schedule everybody's appointments to get them fixed coming up the next 2 weeks. The place I usually take them, Texas Litter Control, has been not doing well with how we were doing the booking and stuff before. So now you have to schedule even cats, feral cats or community cats or whatever, the ones that you put in a trap. And they're like 3 weeks out at the location over here. So I have to go drive in spring across town in 2 weeks. I actually got an appointment for tomorrow for Meridian. I scheduled Lavender, but I think I'm going to take Meridian because she's not in heat right now, thank God. So, sadly, because of that situation, they're going to have to be in the kennels in here for like 2 weeks. And that really sucks. So, that's that. Anyway, that's the full update. Again, if you like crystals, it looks crazy out here, but that is how it is. I have to get to finish feeding and doing litter boxes, and yay! So, let me know if you're interested in learning anything else or have questions. Just go down below and send us comments. Make sure you subscribe and hit that that like button and all that. And if you can help with food, litter, all that stuff, please do. We welcome donations, and because it's just me and I'm trying to get back to work. I don't know how I'm going to do that in this, but we're going to make it work. So, yeah, thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, say hi. Bye.